On a fateful day, the 18th of June 2023, 5 individuals embarked on an extraordinary adventure diving into the abyss in a submarine called Titan. A marvel of engineering. Their mission was to explore the wreckage of the legendary Titanic, a ship that had met its tragic end a century ago. This was no ordinary expedition. It was the pinnacle of adventure tourism, an experience that came at an exorbitant cost of over $25,000 per person. But why was this trip so expensive? It all came down to the Titanic's final resting place, a staggering depth of 3810 meters below the surface of the water. As the submarine began its descent, it took approximately 2 hours to reach the hauntingly deep location. The crew maintained communication with their support ship, the Polar Prince, via signals sent every 15 minutes for those explorers. This was their sole connection to the outside world. But on that eventful day, just an hour and 45 minutes into the dive, the submarine unexpectedly lost contact with the support ship. As time ticked by, the scheduled return of the submarine at 4:30 p.m. came and went, leaving no trace of its presence at 7:10 p.m. The team aboard the Polar Prince made the difficult decision to alert the U.S. Coast Guard, marking the beginning of a multinational search and rescue operation that would span 4 agonizing days. Aircraft, ships, and remotely operated vehicles sculled the vast expanse of the Atlantic Ocean near Canada, desperately trying to locate the missing submarine. The burning question weighed heavily on everyone's minds: what had happened to those brave souls on board? The arrogance and the hubris that sent that ship to its doom is exactly the same thing that sent those people in that sub to their fate. The location where the submarine vanished was in the treacherous waters of the Atlantic Ocean, approximately 600 kilometers from Newfoundland, a Canadian island. Here, amidst the depths, lies the wreckage of the Titanic, fragmented into 2 parts, the bow and the stern, separated by a distance of roughly 800 meters. The Titan submersible that disappeared on that fateful day was not your typical submarine. It was a submersible, a crucial distinction that sets it apart. While the terms may appear synonymous, there exists a vital difference between the two. Submarines possess their own propulsion systems capable of independent entry and exit from the water through ports. However, submersibles require a support ship on the surface to launch and retrieve them. In the case of the Titan, the Polar Prince served as the controlling vessel overseeing the entire operation. The company responsible for these deep-sea expeditions was Oceangate, led by CEO Stockton Rush, a former aerospace engineer who established the company in 2009. Their objective was to provide wealthy individuals with the opportunity to explore the ocean's depths as a form of tourism. Prior to the Titanic tours, Oceangate had organized expeditions to other shipwrecks and notable underwater sites, as documented on their website. Aside from the Titanic, destinations such as the Azores and Bahamas were included in their offerings. It's important to note that Titan was not the company's sole submersible. It was accompanied by 2 others, Antipodes and Cyclops. Antipodes could reach depths of 304 meters, while Cyclops had a capacity of 500 meters. Titan, on the other hand, was specifically designed for the immense task of reaching 4,000 meters, enabling it to journey to the depths of the Titanic wreck to truly grasp the immense depth of 3,800 meters. Visualize a scale chart created by the Washington Post. Standing at 6 feet tall, an average person pales in comparison to the 100-foot iceberg that collided with the Titanic. Recreational scuba divers typically venture to depths of 130 feet, while 600 feet marks the extent of the twilight zone, where only faint traces of light penetrate. At 2,600 feet, giants squids gracefully navigate the murky waters, their alien-like presence a testament to the wonders of the deep sea. Delving even deeper at 3,800 feet, the midnight zone begins, devoid of sunlight, where the water temperature hovers around 4 degrees C. Continuing the descent, we encounter depths of 5,000, 6,000, 8,000 and 10,000 feet, ultimately arriving at 28,500 feet. The ocean floor where the Titanic lies, at this depth the pressure is nearly 400 times that of the surface, requiring meticulous engineering in the design of any submersible. The viewport or window through which occupants observe the underwater world is limited in size due to the tremendous pressure. However, the Titan submersible boasted the largest viewport ever installed in a private submersible. In terms of size, Titan was relatively compact, accommodating a maximum of 5 individuals. Its main body or hull was constructed with carbon fiber, While the two end caps were made of titanium, the submersible spanned approximately 6.7 meters in length and weighed over 10,400 kilograms. Externally, it featured 4 electric thrusters, 2 horizontal and 2 vertical for navigation. Now here's an interesting fact: the submersible was controlled using a video game controller. While this may sound peculiar, it's worth noting that even the US Navy employs Xbox controllers to operate their submarines' periscopes and viewports. Hence, the entire Titan submersible was controlled using a video game controller, including the piloting done by the individual within the craft. If we take a peek inside the submersible, you'll notice that it lacks traditional seating arrangements. Instead, a small toilet is provided adjacent to the viewport. However, it's important to mention that there is no physical barrier around the toilet, meaning that if someone needed to use it, the others would have to face away, maintaining their gaze on a nearby TV screen. A rather peculiar setup, to say the least, given the substantial depths reached by these submersibles. GPS navigation is rendered ineffective. Communication with the support ship relied on a text messaging system, although the specific internet connection you utilized remains unclear. Oceangate had tweeted about using Starlink's satellite internet service, but concrete information regarding this aspect is yet to surface. Now let's journey back to that eventful day, the 18th of June. The submersible carried a total of 5 passengers, each with their own unique story. The first among them was Hamish Harding, a 58-year-old British billionaire renowned for his adventurous spirit and 3 Guinness World Records. He had previously journeyed to the South Pole with astronaut Buzz Aldrin, made a 4-hour dive into the Mariana Trench, the deepest part of the ocean, and participated in Blue Origin's suborbital flight. Next, we have Paul Henry Nagulet, a 77-year-old former French Navy commander and director of underwater research for the Unearthed Titanic, with 37 visits to the Titanic wreck under his belt. Nigel possessed an intimate knowledge of the site like no other. His expertise and experience made him an invaluable member of the expedition. Joining them were Shahzada Dawood, a British-Pakistani businessman, and his 19-year-old son Sulaiman. Shahzada, a prominent figure in Pakistan's business landscape, was the owner of a major company. Sulaiman, albeit apprehensive about the journey, accompanied his father to offer support and share in this unique experience. During the dive, the submarine maintained regular communication with the support ship, adhering to the scheduled 15-minute intervals. However, at 11:15 a.m. contact abruptly ceased, leaving the crew aboard the Polar Prince anxiously awaiting updates. As the hours passed and the scheduled return time of 4:30 p.m. approached, anxiety turned to dread when the submarine failed to resurface. Recognizing the gravity of the situation, the team aboard the Polar Prince took the initiative to contact the U.S. Coast Guard. At 7:10 p.m., a multinational search and rescue operation ensued, plagued by the pressing concern of the limited oxygen supply within the submersible. With only 4 days' worth of oxygen available, time was of the essence. Spanning an area of 25,000 square kilometers, the search for the submarine resembled the proverbial search for a needle in a haystack. The scale was daunting, with the search area encompassing an area larger than the state of West Virginia in the United States. To compound matters, previous underwater rescue operations had only reached depths of 480 meters, making the search for the Titan submersible an unprecedented challenge. Despite the odds, rescue teams risked their lives employing aircraft ships and remotely operated vehicles ROVs in their quest. The latter proved particularly useful, as 3 ROVs were deployed to comb the ocean floor for any sign of the submersible. Day after day, hope mingled with desperation, until finally, on the 3rd day of the search, a Canadian aircraft sonar detected peculiar banging noises. The U.S. Coast Guard later confirmed hearing the same sounds. Then, on the 22nd of June, an ROV investigating the ocean floor stumbled upon debris approximately 490 meters from the bow of the Titanic wreck. Upon further examination, it became evident that the submersible had disintegrated, tragically claiming the lives of those on board. A total of 5 debris pieces were discovered, with the U.S. Coast Guard officially announcing the devastating news during a press conference. The cause of this catastrophic implosion, as determined by experts, was the excessive pressure at the great depths the submersible had reached. Carbon fiber, the material used in Titan's construction, proved inadequate for such extreme conditions. Ocean explorer Robert Ballard, who discovered the Titanic wreckage in 1985, attested to the fact that his team had conducted numerous dives without ever losing a vehicle. This implosion marked an unprecedented event, highlighting the necessity of adhering to safety standards and regulations. In hindsight, it appears that Stockton Rush, the CEO of Oceangate, disregarded safety concerns and regulations in his pursuit of innovation. He criticized safety measures and advocated for a more relaxed approach, facing opposition from industry experts and legal battles. The tragic incident involving the Titan's submersible serves as a reminder that safety should never be compromised. Exploring the depths of the ocean requires meticulous planning, adherence to safety protocols, and respect for its immense power and forces. The incident raises the question of whether it was a result of reckless innovation or an unfortunate accident. Today we're diving deep into a story. Feel free to share your thoughts on this in the comments section. But did you know that this extraordinary vessel capable of plunging over